right? So if you get a little bit closer to, you'll see the difference.
Oh, yeah, if I really need to like make a point or whisper or like tell you something personal.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Matt Emmons, right?
Emmons, yeah.
Emmons, thank you very much for coming, man.
Of course.
We were just getting into it before we actually started it, and I was like, okay, we got to turn this on because we're talking about lucid dreaming, everything like that. All right, so sleep paralysis, right? That's what you were saying.
That's where I was going.
And get a little bit closer.
All right, yeah, that's again
Let's
two.
see if I
Here we go.
turn
Better.
that.
Yeah, it's on. I've never had a lucid dream, like we were saying, but I had sleep paralysis for the first time. It's not fun, but like for the first time,
No.
I was kind of excited about it because it's like a lot of people will talk about sleep paralysis where it feels like someone's holding them down, or like they're like, oh, is it a ghost or something?
Hold up, dude, my bad. That just hit the space bar. It's gonna be stupid.
So what do we? Is it?
No,
was it recording?
Yeah,
and is it now?
we're good now.
Okay, we're back.
Sorry, but I was like, I cannot have my phone on the table when I'm doing a podcast, and then I put it down. It hits the space bar on Logic, so we're all set though.
All right. So wait, do I start over or are we good?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think it's like someone holding them down, or they'll be like, oh, a ghost got me or something, and I always hear that. I'm like, that sounds not scary. Like it's in my head. I'm like, that's easy to not be freaked out by that. And then it was like I was listening to a different podcast talking about murders for too long, and it was too late.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking
last
about.
podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I was like, okay, yeah, definitely. It's like I was drawing at my desk. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. So like I already felt weird, and then I laid down and I thought I fell asleep, but then I was like, I'm still up, and I was like, well, I'll get up. And then it felt like something was looking at me in the corner of my room, like exactly. And I was like, nobody's in here. And then I was like, well, I'll just get up. So
is that why they say like on the ghost look?
Yeah, they talk about like something's there, and then I'm like, that's stupid. And until you're there and you feel it, and it's like, oh, man. And it felt like something held my neck, my ankles, and my wrists.
So I think there's an entire like ghost show that goes into there being I guess it's sleep paralysis, right? But they're talking about a ton of celebrity accounts, all this stuff where like they are being held down and they're dreaming, but it's like a ghost is like fucking them.
Yeah. There's a lot of those.
That never happened to me.
No.
That never happened to me.
It was just they held my ankles and my wrists, and I was like, I don't love that.
But you felt like it was a person holding your ankles and your wrists. It just
feels, like I didn't imagine like a figure or anything. It just felt like something was looking at me, and then you just feel the tightness. Yeah. And then I'm just laying there and you just can't move. And you're like,
yeah, but I wonder what that is. Because like, all right, so like I get on a spiritual look or whatever, but like I do believe in ghosts. I don't know like if there's a definition of heaven or hell, but there's so many people on this planet that say that they've seen ghosts, that they do whatever. You got to figure if they're just passing by, is that what's happening? I feel like if you feel like someone's staring at you, if you felt like you were being held down, there's a difference between just not being able to move in your dream and then feeling like, Yeah,
it can't all be like Scooby-Doo villains dressed as ghosts, Like
no,
there's
if they're ghosts and they're like holding you down, they're fucked. They're demonic, I don't know, but it's like they know they're in that realm.
I could go on and on. It's like I want to believe it. I won't say no. It's just like I need it to happen. I need one of those guys to be like this close and yell at me, and I'll be like, yeah, ghost. That's a ghost. But for now, I'll be like, I sure would like that. Like Bigfoot. Oh, I would love it if Bigfoot's real.
Oh,
but
I would too.
I've never seen him, so it's like I don't discount him, but it's like. Come out, meet me. You know what I mean? Come on the podcast.
I just don't think that Bigfoot could get away from all of the Bigfoot watchers for that long. You tell me he's an executive at getting away from people watch. No, he's living out in the woods. He's not thinking about that. This is my boy Nick too. When he comes over, I'll introduce you. But
unless Bigfoot completely shaved and is perfectly integrated into society, it's probably not real. I would love it if it is. But or they died. But that's a whole different thing. But sleep paralysis.
Well, there used to be a certain type of human, or a species like a human that was massive like that. That was a lot taller.
Wasn't it like, didn't we eat cavemen? Didn't we eat them? That's what happened.
know.
Not like you and me personally, but like.
Oh no,
like
maybe
Homo
you eat the body
sapiens,
of
like,
Christ, but not cavemen. Nah, I won't have any cavemen. But
I used to take that very literally when I was in church. I'd be like, in the body, I'd be like, how do we still have some? Like, he wasn't that big.
Yo,
like when I was a kid,
did you ask him?
No, in my head, I was just like, because I thought it would be rude to ask that. But I'd be like, there's no way. Like in my head, every time they bring up the whole thing, I'm just imagining some guy's job is like, they go into his tomb and they just shave off a little bit of him. They're like,
fucked up.
Use it sparingly. I'm like, why do we do that? And like, way too late. I was like, oh, it's bread. It's a metaphor. But like, for the longest time, I
think that all started with mushrooms. I think they were handing out LSD and mushrooms at first. They used to need to hide religion. It used to need to be a cult. Like,
did they have mushrooms?
And that is God. Yeah, there's mushrooms. Mushrooms beat humans by 1.2 billion years.
Like magic mushrooms, not just like regular.
Well, I'm just talking about mushrooms in general. There's more species, or I don't know what you call it, of mushrooms than there is like anything else. And I think that Stranger Things 2, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure they're loosely basing that off of. Ooh, I don't want to mess it up. It's either in Washington or a completely different country, but the largest organism on the planet is something. It's just like that, woven in the ground and everything like that. At like 2 football fields length, it's a mushroom. And I'm pretty sure they're and the whole thing communicates with itself. That's all mushrooms. Mushrooms are the quickest form of communication. When the way that they give out what they give out, they're actually like colder than the rest. It's a Paul. So shouts to Paul Stamets. I'm trying to get some sponsors for this, and Paul Stamets would be one of them. He's big, like he's the mushroom guy.
He's just like sitting in them.
He's like, you ever know about like Terrence McKenna and no. So Terrence, he's old school. But either way, so Paul Stamets is mushroom expert. I mean, on all different types of mushrooms. Like, yeah.
How do you know? You know what I mean? Like when you know you like something, you know. But how do you know it? Like, how'd you get there?
Well, there's interesting science about mushrooms. Like very interesting science about mushrooms. Like taking a line. There's in Japan, right? So there is a spot in Japan that, unlike the rest of the entire world, I'm pretty sure the numbers, like they have 30% less likely for everyone who would normally develop a specific type of cancer, that they don't, because it's naturally with like in their diet is eating certain type, not magic mushrooms, right? Like, just mushrooms in general are extremely healthy. And I think that the way Paul Stamets breaks it down in a Joe Rogan podcast is that if you come in as a scientist to the room and you think it's all bullshit, you will leave a believer, because like science that's factual stuff, and the science behind mushrooms is just on a different level, like how it helps you. So I'm glad my taste buds changed and that I'll eat them now. I used to be disgusted by them.
It used to be like, I never disliked them, but it's just the idea of it. I was like, I definitely wouldn't like it. So if I knew there's mushrooms, I was like, I don't want that. Take those out.
Yeah.
But then if they're in there, nobody tells me like, this is good. What's in this? And they're like mushrooms. I'm like, I
they're
don't
supposed
like
to be like
though.
extremely healthy for you too.
It's just, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
But those things are interesting in their own right, like mushrooms in their own right, because it's just like a necessary part of a lot of ecosystems anyway. Like they just eat what dies, and everything in an ecosystem like dies.
Yeah, he's talking about something really interesting in that same podcast that I thought was cool. Was what life expectancy for us? I don't know exactly what it is, but we're such a little blip, right? We're such a blip, but how there's a certain type that will actually like kill and like certain trees and break them down, and they'll like it actually ruin the forest. But when you look at it, not from our human existence, but if you look at it from like a all-time type of look, those are the things that create like the meadows and like the grasslands. Like there actually used to be a forest there. It's part of the natural environment to break it down, and then for that to become fertilizer, if you will, for those grounds. And then the animals have more part of the ecosystem of grazing, like all this stuff. It's so very interesting. Yeah, very.
Yeah, it's just like, Well, that's the weird thing is like we want to insert ourselves into all ecosystems. And I think the only time
ego.
The only time we should is when we did something like drop a bunch of anacondas in or python, a big snake in the Everglades.
I think it was python. Yeah. I think it's pythons.
Yeah. When a bunch of people were like, "Oh, these are getting big. I don't want it in my house anymore." Like that's what happened. So like that's when we should do something. But because nothing will eat them. It's against gators in the Everglades. It's 1-to-1. The python will eat it, or will swallow it.
Oh yeah,
and it'll die, and then they'll burst.
Yeah,
and it's like that. I mean, that's kind of rare, but it's like nothing's killing them. So it's just a bunch of snakes in a swamp, and it's like you're not selling me on Florida. It's like so.
No,
I think
there's no snakes in Hawaii.
None.
None.
Not even like. There's
none.
Like not
Dude,
even like
there
one.
Are no snakes
not
in
even
Hawaii.
Like not
it
even
blows my mind.
Like a clever kid like put one in his shirt on a boat and was like, "No, I'm gonna take you like a garter snake." Nothing.
Well, then it needs to find like a lady garter snake before the eggs.
I'm not saying like a population, but just like one snake.
I'm sure there's
not a single snake. Okay, I was like, that's bold.
I just
to not police it. And then say there's no snakes?
Well, if you have a snake and you're in Hawaii, go fuck yourself. Because what are you doing? There's no snakes in Hawaii. They never swam to the island. Don't bring them there. Just like you're not supposed to take anything. Like it's supposed to be bad luck if you take something from Hawaii.
Even like a snow globe?
Yeah. Well, no. Like something nature. Like
okay.
Whether it's a shell or the sand or you're not supposed to take it. Yeah. I don't know if you're.
I'm not superstitious, but I also haven't been to Hawaii, so I don't need to bring anything back.
Yeah,
that's all. But I was like, you can't take exports, like.
Yeah, but
food?
They don't. Well,
yeah.
So Nick, he was in Hawaii for a little while. He was in the Navy for a bit, and when he was stationed out there, he's like, yeah, there's no snakes, but what there is like giant. What are they called now? Like. You know those little orange things with a lot of legs, the centipedes, like giant, like giant centipedes. He said
that's not a good trade.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't like snake. I do like snakes until they get to a certain speed, and then I don't like them as much. They certain
speed, but like there's no venomous snakes that show up here, as far as I know.
Yes, there are.
What?
Yeah, there's. What up, Mickey?
Hey, what's up? What? Like I see
Diamondback.
Where are those? I've never met one.
Well, you've never met one.
I've never met one personally. Yeah.
How often you out in nature too?
That's a good point. Not that often. But I mean, trade off. Would you rather? I don't feel like snakes aren't that fast. I mean, like if you're near it, but would you rather run into a snake or a centipede, like a big centipede?
A centipede.
Why? What? I would take a snake every day. I would rather
really
2 days a week wake up and chase a snake out of my house.
My knowledge on snakes is not good enough to make the action call. Even what's that whole like there's a rhyme that I don't remember, right? This is what I'm saying. I can't if it's coming this way at me, the whole like I don't know if it's venomous or not.
Climb a tree. They can't climb.
Yo, you'd be surprised. Yeah, snakes are snakes for a reason. They're in all religion as being snakes and everything. You ever see what a cat does when you just put a big cucumber? Oh my, yeah, because there's a ton of videos of those. But
yeah, but I bet if you put a centipede as big as that cucumber next to that cat, that's also a bad day.
For sure. Or they'll do what they do and they'll just whack it and they'll fuck with it over and over.
I don't know. I'd trust a snake over a centipede. Snake's just a little closer to us on the evolutionary chain than a centipede.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do
it's
with
like here and here. It's like I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, fuck them both, right? Like I do think snakes are cool. It's pretty. They can be badass at times, but just like I told you, so right before the podcast, Matt and I were talking about lucid dreaming. I said the day that I could actually control my dreams all started with a giant anaconda, like the kind that you ever seen the movie Anaconda?
Yeah, with
Jennifer Lopez and Ice Cube. And they talk about that thing that I don't know what they're but
the blood orchid or whatever.
I'm talking about they're like don't get in the water because there's a parasite that'll swim up
Candiru.
your dick. That's
a myth.
It's a myth.
I mean, it isn't.
Did its job. It isn't. So it isn't, and
it's not gonna go up into your urethra, like as soon as you step in that water. Like you'd have to like go on it. You'd have to be like, hey, come on over.
But you're saying there's a chance.
But I mean, there's a chance a spider could do that in your sleep. You know what I mean? If it needed to.
I don't think any spiders are gonna try to make their way up my dick hole.
I mean, I'd like to think that, but it's like I'm not gonna bet.
What about spiders? How are you with spiders?
They're fine. If one was here, I don't know how I'd feel about. Like it's just when you get close, you see their face. It's fine until you see those eyes. I'm like,
I got this weird thing where I see them and I'm like, you're so ugly that I need to show you some love here.
I don't kill them, but like I just if you're on me, it's you or me. You know what I mean? If you're on me, but if you're over there, I'm like you do that, and if I don't see them, I'm like just don't be on me. But it's like spiders are fine. Candiru though, I forget. I tried to look it up.
The name.
It's just like a tiny little fish. Yeah, I knew it.
And they'll go.
Yeah, it's like they have hooks, so they hook onto and they like latch it. Yeah. Even just the idea that even if it's probably not gonna happen, like it's a perpetuated myth mostly. Like there's another fish I'd be more afraid of that has like human-like teeth. Basically, it looks like just this.
I think I know what you're talking about.
They're also in the Amazon.
And they're aggressive, right?
They eat like whatever they eat. Like
they should be in a Crest commercial.
They should just, I guess, like if you want like nightmare Crest
commercial, like
just like horrific fish. They're like, but like those things will literally bite your balls if you're swimming because like I mean again if you're naked, if you're naked, because it's like
that's why I've never been down with skinny dipping. If it's, I mean, I guess I've just never really been down with
the body of water is dirty. Why would you want to do that? It's not fun. It's definitely not sexy. Like.
But when you have bathing suit on, your dick's still getting
everything's
dirty.
The same thing. But it's just not.
I don't feel like I like fishing. I know what fishing lures look like. I know that the average penis, well, I hope for everybody, like it's shaped a certain. That looks like a worm. It's a worm. They're like, oh, that's a big worm, man. Let me get
do
that.
Not have like very good perception. I'm assuming if they'll fall for rubber. I don't know, but
yeah.
I'd be more afraid of.
You're just making them late. Dude, where were you? That's totally a Mitch Hedberg joke. I'm a big fan of Mitch Hedberg. He's a comedian that died.
Yeah, I know him, but like not well enough to like recognize.
A lot of like one-liners, real quick ones.
I like the long dry stories, like John Mulaney.
Okay,
those comedians. That's my thing. Right. I saw like Mike Birbiglia, like people.
And
like
I make a timetable of contents for these. So like at this time, right, I'll go and I'll find something of theirs and I'll put it there so that anybody ever watching can like immediately know
look it
who
up
you're
and
talking
get the
about.
reference. So it's easier because like if I was listening, I'd probably be like who, and then I'd look it up. So it makes it that much easier. I don't have to open a new tab. I can click that link.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, or copy. I mean, it's so easy. Copy, new tab, paste, enter, and then Google does it for you.
Same thing.
Yeah. Right. So, fish is stupid.
Fish are dumb, according to us. Like in terms of, like they do what they need to do. They're fine.
Oh, yeah.
But like they're good. They're happy.
Yeah.
They're happier than most people, I would assume, because they don't have happiness. So it's like that. They
I don't know.
That.
They probably got happiness, but maybe it's just not on a level. But I just think that the more intelligence, the more variables you take into account, right? So instead of left, right, there's everywhere that we could possibly go.
I think it's like a consciousness thing. Like animals. Animals don't necessarily know they're gonna die. They just know they don't want to.
Yeah.
But we know we're gonna die, so we're just stressing about it. Not everyone, but like
there's I'm big on nature documentaries. I love nature documentaries. I forget which one it is, but there's a fish called the kingfish. Badass name, right? I mean, but it's legitimately even in the documentary they're like pound for pound it's like one of the fastest like fish in the ocean and everything. But it does this really weird thing. They don't know why they do it, which is once a year. All right, so it's Cape Town. They're Cape Town, Africa. They're in Africa. So once a year, they get out of the ocean because they're normally solitary, right? It's normally just them. They're not a pack fish, right? Like some fish are all pack fish. I'm probably, I should know this shit. But once a year, they go up inland, like several miles inland, through a river. They get to this one spot, and then not for food reasons, not for mating reasons, nothing. They just dance in that spot all together. And they're not the type of fish to do, like, to even be together. And it's beautiful. You see them in the middle of this river, and they're just, like, moving back and forth all, like, I don't know. To me, there's something going on either with that spot or, like, what is it about?
Some sort of, like, social behavior of that, like...
Yeah, but where along the lines was it like, hey, every kingfish?
Is it, like, do they know it's, like... I mean, it's hard to keep track of every one of one species, unless it's, like, there's, like, 30 left. But it's, like, if it's enough to notice, that's weird. Like, what?
No. It's like all of them in that area. It's
the entirety of the population.
Yeah.
And they have no idea.
Well, I don't know about entirety of population, but it's definitely like all of them there.
Yeah, within that like geographic region.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, like it's like the Comic-Con of like them. Like that's once a year. They're like, we gotta.
Yeah, there's certain stuff that I think that we're born with, and that's it's got to be woven into our genetics that we probably don't, because we got too many variables. We're not thinking about it. But they're just natural, instinctual things. Like, you ever seen what a puffer fish does to mate? Dude, they spend a week straight and with the ocean drift, they account for that, on the bottom of the ocean, and they push away the sand and clean up the sand and put these little shells in spots, and it's sacred geometry.
There's a bird that builds essentially a house.
Yeah,
I forget the name of it, but
and
it's
they
like
dance.
Yeah,
and
he's
like,
like,
yeah.
Check out my house, and it's like
they've spotlighted like 3 different birds now that are all like that.
There's a lot of animals that just do things like that, and it's like, I mean, we have our own things, and there's just deeply ingrained things. It's like,
but then now you got Facebook and Instagram and how everybody's saying you're supposed to be acting. So it's like the deeply ingrained. I think that's really the issue with anxiety, depression, all this shit now, is that you got a bunch of shit telling you what it's supposed to be like, and then you got your natural self telling you what you want.
It's competing, and social media, I feel like, makes you feel like you have to be on all the time. Not necessarily like on it, but like doing something all the time.
Yeah.
Like everything's geared towards like, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm doing, like I'm doing it now. This is fun for me, and isn't it cool to look at me do this, being me?
I mean, do you post shit when you're not happy?
Yeah, but I mean, I just post drawings at this point. Like, I can't even like, I don't know how to smile correctly in a picture. Like, I don't know what to do.
I think maybe I saw one picture and you're half hiding in it.
Yes.
With headphones on.
With fake glasses put onto the picture after. Because I'm like, that's.
Hey, I'll give you daps for that. Like,
it's like.
Fuck that
and
world.
So I mean, barring like me using social media to like promote my work, I don't have a use for it. Like, and it's just like, I have Facebook, and I'll change the profile picture once every like 6 months so people know I'm not dead. Like, but even then, like, I don't feel that obligated.
I got off Facebook, and then everything that's going on. Did you hear recently? I listen to NPR all the time, and actually they were talking about it in a Joe Rogan podcast, the one that I was playing when you walked in here.
Yeah,
with Brian Redband, and then Jamie's pretty active to it, his producer in there. But Cambridge Analytica, right? So they're an analytics company that's trying to say, hey, we can. It's bullshit at the end of the day because you don't even know how they do it, but they're getting all this information from Facebook, and now I guess they're getting sued out the ass. Even Facebook's stock is dropping because they gave way too much of your personal info away to this company. And they're saying, hey, we can give you political analytics now, basically giving a heads up through business intelligence on who this person was more likely to vote for. Obviously they already know, is that you're a Democrat and even being able to tell whether or not you're a Democrat or a Republican just based off of stuff on Facebook. Right. So to me that's fake, but like still for the masses as a whole, you're getting some of them.
It's like, I'll put it two different weird things happen. I turned all notifications off on Facebook. Like, so I don't get them in my email. I don't get push notification on my phone.
And the notifications are bullshit now, dude.
It would be like, oh, this person liked a comment you made. I'm like, that was
promoting
3 years ago.
stalkers.
Or, it's
like so and so is at an event near you. Okay, I never asked.
It's like, I'm not going outside today anyway. But it's like, so it reached that point where I turned all of those off. You had to go in and you have to manually turn off each individual kind of notification. And then after that, I started getting...
And they make that hard to find, right? Because when you're looking for it at first, I need to Google it.
At first, I would just unsubscribe each time, like from the email, and then like they just send a new email of a different kind of notification. But then it reached a point where like in my Instagram, it was notifying me of Facebook notifications.
Really?
On my profile, there was like a red mark that wouldn't go away. It's like, oh, you've got a notification on Facebook. And I was like...
That's so annoying.
So I finally found out how to get rid of that too. I got a text like 2 days ago or earlier this week from Facebook. I got a new number and I never told Facebook. Like I never gave that to Facebook.
And it texted you? What did it say?
It's like, hey, you have a new friend request. I was like, who? What? Why?
It told you on Instagram?
No, Facebook texted me. And like a number for Facebook texted me that I now have a new friend request.
Yeah, and that's even weird, like, how in your phone it'll be like maybe Matt Emmons.
That didn't show up. Yeah,
but have you ever seen that? It's someone.
Well, if I said I'm Matt, if I said it's Matt Emmons, like in the text I sent you, the phone's gonna be like, oh.
No. I mean, I've gotten like a what's up text, and it been like maybe so and so.
That's weird. The other weird thing is like
data. We're so data disconscious. Like I sold business intelligence software and predictive analytics software, so I understand how much data like an enterprise company like PepsiCo's got. But you're like what you're even putting out on yourself, right? Is just I don't know.
It's like if I'll be talking about something like I was talking about LL Bean. I'll be like, oh, I love LL Bean flannels. I will get an ad for LL Bean, and it's like, LL Bean, I already bought your flannel. Like, if you listened, like, I know you're listening. Listen a little better. I already bought it. So it's like tonight, like, if I just say LL Bean, LL Bean, LL Bean, I hope I get an email. Like I hope I'm on just some forum or something, and the ad at the bottom is LL Bean.
Yeah, please. I know it will be.
I will, and I'll immediately say because it definitely will. It's like a friend of mine and I were talking at work, and he's talking about Bitcoin, and then I get an email about Bitcoin, and it's like, yeah. I was never getting these. So it's like, maybe that's just chance, because that's also part of it. It's like, it's also probably not. It's definitely not. Yeah, that's how.
Dude, it's definitely not. It's just data. Have you ever seen like the movie Snowden?
No, but I mean, I know about all the stuff that he looked into and was like, hey, heads up.
Yeah, if you watch that movie, which highlights the whole story, you're just like, we're still all cool with this. Like, they talk about, hey, if Matt is a threat, then we have the ability to now say we're going to monitor everything that Matt does, but not just on that. They could do like several degrees off from you. So if you talk to Samson, right, now they are following everything that I read, write, and say. And they have 100% visualization to everything. Nothing's hidden anymore. I'm not going to go throw my Social Security number out there because, even
they already have it. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Like all that stuff, like if you're worried about like the government or like anything like that getting that stuff, they've got it. Yeah. Like they gave it to it. Like 100%. They're the one who made it. Like we're in the system. Yeah. So it's it's harmless. It's just not comforting. Like it's an illusion of freedom. That's all. That's what's happening for us to feel like, oh, we're independent people. It's like, no.
I think we also lost sight on what privacy actually is, though, right? People's version of privacies have to do with being in the Facebook social media realm, and then they're talking about privacy. Like, real privacy is alone in your room. Real privacy is alone, like, in the woods, right? Like, wherever like, I think people forget. They're like, oh, like, nothing's private anymore, but, like, what do you do that's private, right? I mean, I know a lot of people, and there's memes for this. You wake up, you check social media, you do it, then you're going to a job. Everything that you're doing doesn't actually have a level of privacy attached to it.
No, and everyone's doing it. That's all. Like everyone's doing the same thing at the same time. Like you all wake up. Like I wake up. Like I check my phone. Like even when I'm like I'm not gonna do it, and then I'm like oh I'm doing it now. Like I was doing it as I said I wouldn't. So it's like it's just again another thing that's becoming ingrained in us. Yeah. And it's like you can see the change in like why TV dinner. Like I look at lean cuisine. I was like who the fuck was eating that? At any point. And it was when it was new, it was awesome. People were like, you mean I don't have to cook? I could just I could just take this and throw it.
I'm just picturing like a fat ass sweaty dude that's listening to the podcast by chance.
He's like, I love lean cuisine. Hey,
in his trailer park, and he just got a fork in his mouth, like, nah.
He's like, what do you?
Drops it like,
what's wrong with lean cuisine? Sponsor the podcast, and then I'll change my mind. But it's like, you ever seen that video of Guy Fieri signing lean cuisines and throwing them to a crowd?
No, that is gangster shit.
And that's why I have no problem with lean cuisine other than the food. Yes. And I don't know if it was added in later.
It seems like such an asshole thing. Like I'm going to take lean cuisine,
signing the boxes.
I mean, that is dangerous too. Like if I huck the lean cuisine and it's frozen.
Because you got to have it frozen because if it thaws, I wouldn't. I mean, don't eat it at any point, but like definitely don't let it thaw and then try to eat it. But like why do you want? I mean, I would want that actually. I take that back. I would want a signed lean cuisine from Guy Fieri. No, I don't want to eat it. I just want to frame it.
What are you gonna? You're gonna frame it.
Yeah, get a.
But then it's gonna smell like shit unless you got a refrigerator.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna
refrigerated frame
in just a hot room. Just frame it, and then that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So right when someone walks in, immediately like, it smells like God Fieri. He signed it.
But you can't even see the sign because it's just like the steak tartare has just like melted.
And then they come mushrooms just growing on it, inoculating wherever the hell they want.
But then good, they'll make me healthy. I'll live forever with those mushrooms.
Boom. Yeah.
Full circle.
Do you mess with any hallucinogens? You ever?
No. I'm already this unhinged, like this close to being unhinged as is. Like I really. For like 20 minutes one day, I was like, I'll try mushrooms. And then I didn't do it. It's like, that was as far as it went. I was like, maybe I will. And then I didn't. But like, I never even liked smoking weed. So it's like, that's already like I know they're different. It's a completely different feeling, but it's like, I'm already out of touch. Like, I don't want to. It messes with me.
I'd be willing to argue that it puts you more in touch. 100%. I think if you take acid, LSD, if you take mushrooms, if you take ayahuasca, any type of DMT, you're getting more senses. The brain is used to perceiving 5 senses, right? Yeah. You're gonna get more, and like the studies on this are flabbergasting.
They're interesting. Really I was.
You see what the brain does on mushrooms?
No, I was.
The neural pathways are like 10x, and probably more than that. It's amazing. Well, I mean, that's why the coding community all microdoses daily. Businessmen microdose daily. You don't need to tell a smart person more than once that this is something that makes your brain literally a more efficient tool in every way. And you're thinking of mushrooms like
I'm thinking
balls to the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
4 to 6 hours. That's, I'm losing my shit. No. I'm thinking about not even enough to make you change.
Yeah, my go-to, like when you talk about hallucinogens, like I just think of like people going to a music festival and they're like, oh, I don't know how much I took. I was just there. And it's like, that's what you think of when you think of drugs and stuff. I've been looking into more of like what the government did like early on, like when they first like came up with, when they were doing all those tests and all that stuff.
What do you mean?
Like
Stranger Things.
Yeah, but really like MK Ultra, like what Stranger Things.
So what did you find?
And stuff like, well, it's just like they thought they could use it for mind control, and they were just like dosing towns and people secretly.
I mean, listen, secretly. But is it that silly of a thing to think that it's not legit?
Maybe it can do stuff like it can make you think a certain way and change your perception, and that in conjunction with like not living permanently on acid can like help you. But they were also not like microdosing. They were like way overdosing these people. So they're just.
Well, there's arguments that that's what Egypt was doing, that the flower, because there's DMT in the blue lily, and then just like in Stranger Things, you get in. Watch, because she always can get into that realm once she's in a sensory deprivation tank, right? Like the mind has a higher access to those things. So that's what they were doing. They were loading her up on LSD and putting her into a deprivation tank.
You ever been in a deprivation tank?
Oh hell yeah, I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
I there was a place that like they let you do it's like meditation or like something, just a relaxation thing. I didn't do it, but I just like I know about it. I was like, what? Like that's so crazy. It's like
you should do it.
Just to feel it's nothing, right? You just feel nothing. Like all sound, everything is gone.
The water temperature and the air temperature is so similar. Like you will not understand what part of me is out of the water and what part of me is in the water. And there's so much salt in the water. Yeah.
And then it's completely dark and it's soundproof. Mm-hmm. So you hear nothing, you see nothing, you feel nothing.
Yeah. It's I mean, I got so the first time I ever did it, I got this like rush of adrenaline, almost like scared. You know, like if you get scared, like the adrenaline comes in. But at the end, even when I did ayahuasca, it all comes back to your breath. And when you're about to, oh man, shouts to my brother Alex, man, because when you're on that level and you realize that the only thing that because it's not a fun, like ayahuasca is going to show you the most beautiful things in life and show you the most, like this is not for beginners here. Like you need to be on a different mental level. And like, you're just going to realize like you only really ever had your breath. Like it's only your breath. I'm like, even now, like want to like sit up straighter, like everything. And because every time everything was about to go horribly wrong on ayahuasca, your breath will bring you back to it. You can rely on your breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Same deal with, and if you take acid or mushrooms, your nasal cap, your nose gets cold. Almost like it's more efficient telling your body cold air is the best way for your brain to function, just like it is for an engine to go, and a cool air intake is better. It's like, it is fascinating science. I mean, I don't know enough about it to spit,
but
like,
just enough
facts.
To know
just
it's
enough.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I feel like I know a lot, or a little about a lot.
Yeah,
that's like
Renaissance man.
Like exactly. Like jack of all trades,
which is what you kind of need to be now. Like you can fulfill a niche market, but to get popular or have a bigger audience, you still need to know how to Instagram, how to,
that's where I'm at now with, I feel like with like what I'm doing.
Yeah, so let's get into that because that's how we met, right? Yeah, and I describe it as a flea market, but I don't know. It's in Lowell, right? So tell me about that venue.
So that thing,
and I'm gonna bring up. I'm listening, but I'm gonna bring up your Instagram and flash it on the camera so they can see it.
All right. So like, Mill Number 5 is just like it's like trendy market.
Mill Number 5.
Mill Number 5
Lowell,
is in Lowell, Mass is like one of the renovated mills. It's just kind of like a trendy spot. But I guess every weekend they'll host a market, so they'll just try to get like local artisans or artists or people that make things and sell them. So it's just like a short-term, like short-lived market. And I've been looking at more like, I guess, longer ones. Like I'd come from the background of looking for like comic conventions and stuff like that, because like, that's my thing.
Luca, Italy. Go to Luca, Italy. That's the biggest comic convention in the world. Yeah.
That's a trip. That's all. Like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So maybe in 10 years if I'm bigger, but for now I'm gonna hit a few more like in the spring and summer. But
you want to know what? You go to a comic convention, everyone there is doing comics. You're the only person doing what you were doing in Lowell at Mill 5.
Which is either good or bad, depending on where you go. So
no, it's good because your art's good. So let me set the scene for everybody. Okay. Mill 5 is like think 1900s industrial era, big building, high ceilings, and then in this one level, like you step on the floor and it creaks, that old type of historic look in the building. They have different rooms and they act as different storefronts. And then there's a record shop, there's a motherfucker who makes soap, there's a cafe, there's you doing everything with comics, there's clothing, there's jewelry, stones, everything, like. So that was cool. So how did you like? Now you've been trying to find more comic only.
Well, that's how I started.
And I'm gonna flash them this while
that's how I started. So like I mean I just graduated college like not even a year ago. So
really?
Yeah. So it's like I just got out and I went to school for animation, but then my last year I was like I like animating, but I want to draw. I want to make comics. Like that's what gets me going. That's what makes me like freak out. Like so.
Yo, you're good, and it's you're really, you could tell by your following. You know what I'm saying? That's a niche, but you're already you're scraping at 9,000.
It's that's chance too. Honestly, like I'm like I don't know how it's happening. I'm not complaining. Like I don't want to lose it, but it's like I didn't do too much. Like I'm not paying for anyone. It's just like chance and shit like that. But it's like. I just started making stuff and then I just started putting it up and then that's what my social media became. It just became me like dumping drawings so I would get better and better. So I left college with a pretty big portfolio of drawings that were not related to any of my school, any of my classes at all. And then I was still just itching to make comics. And like the thing with comics is like it's not the same thing. You don't go to college, get a degree, and then build up like you don't get an internship at Marvel and that doesn't get you closer. Like it's way more of a crapshoot. It's way more just chance. Like you just blindly submit to publishers. You get a hell of a lot more no's than yeses. And I was just sitting and spending a lot more time being like, oh, I want it so bad. Like I want it. Like I was like, I know what I'll do if I get it. So just why don't I have it? And then I slowly realized I was like, oh, because I'm not making any comics.
Because you're not doing it.
Because I wasn't doing it. So I made one. And then that's what started on all of this. Like I just made it my junior year of college, like start to finish. I didn't do my classwork. I just did this. Like I went to like, and that's all I did. And it worked out. So like that got the ball rolling.
So after you made it, right? And we were talking about this when we first met too, but after you made it, so you made it.
Yeah.
You got a comic. What's next for you?
In my head at that point,
what'd you do then?
I was like, oh, I'm gonna send it to a publisher and that's it, and I'm done. No, so I didn't have much of a following at that point anyway, and so like I made it. Like you don't hear back from like big publishers, which is their polite way of saying no because they're busy.
Yeah.
So I realized like, okay, there's more to this than just making something. I gotta print it. I gotta market it. I have to sell it. I have to sell myself. So then I just started. I realized too.
So did you send it to a few? So you made the first one.
Yeah, I sent it to a few publishers, and now I look at it and I know why.
And who did you send it to?
Like, what was it? Image, like Black Mask. There's a few others that I'm blanking on, but it's like bigger name publishers that are up here when I was lower than the table.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And how many followers on even Insta did you have then?
I don't know. I want to say maybe like 500, and it was mostly people I knew.
It's picking up.
Yeah.
Proof is in the pudding. You gotta do it.
I had 4,000 in May when I graduated.
Right.
So it's like it's nice to see it grow, and it feels very authentic. And it's like, I'm just making what I like, and it's so awesome that people like what I do. And it's like nobody's been mean to me through it yet, which is nice. But like I'm expecting like one person to be like, "This is garbage," and I'll be like, "Tell me more." Like I'm interested.
Yeah.
Tell me why. I feel like they just
wouldn't
follow me, but it's like, it's just this whole drawing and being an artist. Like if you want to be a working artist, it's more. You need more than just to be able to draw. You need to be able to talk to people. Like you need to go outside. Like you need to shower and know how to market yourself. Like
you need to shower. Good.
You need to be
just
clean.
So you know, he does not smell.
Yeah.
Yeah. For everyone listening, he doesn't
I'm
smell.
good. But like, I need to brand essentially myself. And so after that, like I always liked like t-shirts and shit like that too.
I can see. I was literally
I made
just
this
thinking,
one.
look at us.
Yeah, I wore it.
Look at us. I'm over here repping on my shit. You over here repping. Yeah, you got it. So and that's a dope shirt. Yeah. I'm gonna give you a shirt before you leave, but
I'll have to give you one of these then.
Thank you.
But it's like it's all marketing. And so when I was in college, like I was messing around. I was doing the right thing in terms of, like I was making all the time. So now I come out of college and I'm hungry for work, but the thing I have the least experience with is the marketing side of it. So it's like damn, like I wish I also thought of that sooner. But now I'm a lot more further along with how I draw, that I can focus more on the marketing. I can focus more on, like, I'm making shirts. I'm like, okay, I'll post a picture, be like, I have this shirt for sale, like, check it out. That's gonna work. There are people who love it and they'll just buy it. Yeah. And I appreciate it. But it's like, if I want to reach a bigger audience, if I want to make this a brand, if I want to do something entertaining,
you gotta sell Matt.
I have to sell me, but I have to make it more than just like another one of the throng of shirts. Like, in some way, like, essentially, like, make my own commercials and, like,
here's
show
where
up.
I'll put a little twist
places.
on exactly what you're saying, and which is why we're sitting here right now, right? And I'm big on the whole, within the first few lines, you could tell if an individual is another real individual, right? And that was pretty evident. Right? Say eat fish, but yeah, eat fish, not kids.
Which is a great sentence to have out of context.
It's a great sentence to have out of context. And what's the crocodile that it is?
Gharial.
A gharial?
Yeah,
right. There would be in India.
Yep, they're like.
You'll see people in India cleaning clothes right next to them. They don't mess with humans.
They don't eat people.
Hashtag eat fish, not children.
Yeah, it's easy. It's really easy to not eat kids. Yeah, I stand by that.
So we met, and so I'm a big fan of Gary V, and he's all about, Gary Vaynerchuk. No. Yeah, he wants to buy the Jets. I think it's the Jets. And he's like, document the process. And here's what, and now if you now start taking examples in your head when I tell you this, you can be the best comic book animator, you can have created the best clothing, got the best fabric, everything. My boy Nick Mates Beaks, you could sample the best stuff, whatever it is you want to do, you'll get further at doing, and you'll be more successful at documenting the process and selling you and what it is that you're doing than you ever, and this is why I started this podcast, and you ever will be just doing comics, right? Because people like Matt is a good person. I can talk to Matt. I'll share Matt's stuff. I might not even necessarily like it or be big into art or like comics, but I like Matt. So now you will actually be able to see that people are going to root for you and your journey and that story, and people will buy into that. Like at the end of the day, no matter how big your comics ever get, there's almost, I'd say, like, kind of more pride affiliated in the fact that first and foremost, people like everything that you do because it's you. And then they like your art. But I'd always rather have people like me before my art, because liking my art, I mean, art's all opinion, right? You can't be mad at someone who doesn't like it. They don't like your stuff.
I've met plenty of people who are just like, I don't get it. And that's fine. You don't have to. I'm not going to yell.
They like you.
Yeah.
Right?
So we still have plenty to talk about.
So then you're on their mind, and then they meet a star comic guy or whatever the hell it is, right? And they bring you up because they're thinking of you, not just your work. If you only throw your work in their face, you're only going to get that back, which automatically leaves you out of the equation.
Perfect. Two things on that too. Like, perfect example of there's once a year free comic book day. Like every comic book shop has like a certain selection of
comics. What day is that?
It's coming up. I want to say it's in April. I'll let you know, but it's like, it's specific comics, so it's not just like you can't just walk in and take one and leave. But there's a store that's in Cambridge that has like local artists that'll come and hang.
What's it called?
Million Year Picnic.
Good shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll throw that in there. Timetable of contents.
Yeah. But so like every once in a while they'll have people come in and either like have stuff that they've made that's free or they're selling. But it's like, it's already a weird disconnect if you're going in and selling shit on a free day. But then if you're pushing it on people, that's a bad time. So this woman, like, I walked in. Yeah. And this woman's just like, I didn't even look at her work yet. She's like, what's your favorite part of my work? And I'm like, none of it. Because you already messed up. It's as much.
I'll tell people that.
I was like, none of it. I don't want to look at any of this shit. It was well drawn too. That's the worst part. But it's just, you ruined it. I don't care if I don't like you.
Because
it's exactly
there you
that.
Go. Yeah.
And so it's about relationships, especially if I'm I'm 22. Like I just got out of school. Like I'm young. Nobody knows me. Like, so it's not even like I have to play nice. It's I want to get to know professionals and people who are doing what I want to be doing what I'm doing, like above and below me.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like I want to try to find places like that I can stock my shirts and like start going to stores and things like that. So it's like I still haven't built up the courage. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, but how? Because I don't want to just walk in and be like, here's this thing, will you take it? Like, so it's partly chance. Like I'm waiting on.
I hope you're that too.
In a way,
I do that for artists. That's literally what I do. Like my boy Gardo that I help out.
Yeah.
So shouts to Sandman Graphics. Right. He's got a screen printing thing. But like, I don't need to be modest there. Like I am good at that. I'm good at just going and like I'm shy. Don't believe it or not, I'm shy. But but once you put it in my job description that's what I'm supposed to be doing, then I'm buying.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It's like that's my work. So if my entire goal is to meet the owner of the store, like I will. Like and that's not an issue.
Huh.
Yeah.
I just want to.
Yeah, give me a list of stores. Give me some product. I'll go and cold call for you.
Oddly enough, one of the places I was thinking of stopping by was Mass Apparel, who I'm
doubt. Okay,
I'm spacing on his name. I'm spacing on his name. Brooke? Yeah, I was just listening to that today, this morning when I was working, and I was like, no fucking way. Like the chances of that, like that's awesome. Honestly, and it's like I would love to just meet these people because it's so much more to me. I want to have more of a relationship than just like, here's some stuff. Do you like what it looks like? Would you sell it? Like I want you to like me. Not force you to. I'm not going to pretend to be someone else, but it's like I want to get along with the people that I'd be working with. Like it's just that simple.
Well, you is what they will. The difference between even if you're more expensive to have, if your product's more, that's what keeps you there.
Yeah,
is they know you.
If it's down to, it's the same thing in like if you're hiring someone. Like if there's an arrogant prick and then there's a guy who's kind of modest but just like funny, easy to talk to, that's the guy you're gonna go with every time. Because it's always it's even if he's not as good. Like again, if that asshole's here, but then that other nicer guy who works well with everyone in the office here, you go with this guy because then he'll get there. Yeah, and you'll all get there. And that's people forget that.
They do, and it's important to highlight here that like you can have the best marketing and sales push to no end, but until they know you, it's very easy for you to become an arrogant prick. Yeah. Even if your emails are long and sought out so that you put your heart on the page, but all they see is this guy's bothering. He's bothering me again. I'm busy, right? Like, no, go. Like, I was in sales, and we spoke to companies that were between the 300 million and up range, but the sweet spot's over 500 million, right? My job is to hit you up every day, right? That's my job. Yeah. And you don't like me off the rip, which is about the reason why I got out of that, right? Like, what a life. What a life. I'm going to make 60 dials a day. I'm going to go and get nice and intricate with my email. And all they're thinking is I could give a shit less about you. You're just another salesperson, blah, blah, blah.
And it's not your fault either.
But if you let me just walk in, right? If you just let me walk in, where's the COO? Where's the CEO? Let me just talk to you for a second.
For like 2 minutes, they'll be like, this fucking guy. But then like you talk to them, and then you have something. Yeah. If you can catch something that you both share in common, or like just something simple, and then it's authentic.
That's important. I think the authentic. So I'm glad that's where you went. So authenticity is extremely important, and one of my more favorite quotes is, or paraphrasing it, but just you need to leave the universe some wiggle room here. You ever realize that there's certain things that you'll go to prep for, and you can prep till no end, and which makes you better all around, but then when you show up and you get there, it went nothing like it. You only used 10% of what you prepped for, and the rest was a go with it. Now, you need to take that knowledge and advice on just the world and know that every time you show up, you're not going to know everything. There are going to be questions you're not, but things will still work out, especially if you're a good person and you're really passionate about what you do, right? At the end of the day, like, this is just, it's a conversation between two people. So when I say, let me show up, let me talk to that CEO, COO, CFO, whatever, right? I'm not going to show up with, even if I memorize that paragraph of what I need to pitch on business intelligence software, I know, because I'm reading the room and everything else, that I can't just go reciting that back to people. Yeah. You know, like, you got to be you. It needs to be authentic.
You're going to lose a bit of whatever you, like, I talk with my hands. If I'm holding a piece of paper, I can't do that. Like,
exactly.
I can make eye contact.
Yeah.
But like, half of me is how I, like, express my, like, every time I'm trying to make a point, sometimes I'll stop talking. I'm just like, but it's this, like, do you get what you see the hands are moving? Like, so
that's why it was very important to me. So I could have gotten a nice SDLR and made the video look like damn near real fucking professional, right? But for the same price of I was going to get a Canon 80D or a Nikon, whatever, I got 3 of these. So these 3, right, they only ran like a little over 200, but I got the refurbished ones. And then, but it's important to see Matt, then see Samson, then see us both, because people aren't just type out. People aren't even just here. There's a lot more to this. So when you're trying to make a point, have you ever realized that going like this, and in the middle of doing that, they get what you're saying?
Yeah, I've convinced people with just like this, like that.
And
no
that's
words.
possible now with that, but it's not possible if you just hear it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's probably more possible than just hearing it than it is if it's just text. Like text, it won't work.
I was gonna ask you your choice on making it be video rather than just like audio. Like when you said podcast,
I haven't even put it on. So I haven't even put it on just the regular podcast stuff yet.
Yeah, I noticed. I was gonna ask
because video for me is just, it's important, because I just think that when you can hear somebody, see their mannerisms, see the sarcasm, you can tell by the way someone squints their eyes that they're just fucking around, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? You can't, if you're just listening, you might not know. There's a lot of stuff that when I put this, because I will, I'm waiting until I have like 10, and then I'm going boom in a podcast, because it's just as important on Instagram. You ever see those people that start following you on Instagram? You go to their Instagram, you got 3 pictures. Are you fucking kidding me? What are you, born yesterday? If I can't scroll twice with my thumb to see a gallery on your Instagram, you should not be marketing your shit to me. Right?
Oh, okay. I thought you meant just like any old person. I was like, do you think that bad? But if you're a brand, if you're if you have something to sell,
yeah. But even here's why. Because even any old person, by the time any old person goes to unless it's the day that they started Instagram, then they're gonna have more than 3 posts. You know?
I guess.
If you can't go like this, you go illegitimate and you don't follow them. If you follow me, I don't care how beautiful your website is, because I'm not clicking on that shit. I don't care what you say. I don't care how nice the first 1, 2, and 3 pictures are. If I can't see the rest of the gallery, I'm going, fuck out of here. You work more on your craft, homie. Start doing the comics more. I want to see more of the do. I don't want to see just you thinking you're going to be successful here by just posting it like, oh, like I'm starting it now, and now I'm gonna go get one of these apps that follows everyone. I call out every single person.
I block them. I just block them.
No,
I think about saying something, and I'm like, that's a lot of work, and then I block them because I'll notice.
I like your style,
because
I'm
like,
I
notice, and I'm like, I definitely didn't follow you because this isn't good. Like, and they'll have more than 3. Like it'll just be like, I was like, why the fuck would I follow this? Like, why would I follow this? And then I just noticed, I'm like,
You know, I gotta say that some of the ones that follow me, actually, this thing slowly goes down.
I had a chair, like my old chair, just saying, I'm like, I'm shrinking.
Took this from a corporate job. I've taken so much stuff.
Did they know?
Corporate. Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wasn't.
Yeah.
You just quit.
We're gonna dump that pile of computers. Let me get them, man. People just don't. And asking. Remember, if you're trying to make it, you just ask. People don't just ask. But yeah, sometimes I'll go out of my way to make sure because I know that a machine algorithm is what liked my last 3 pictures and put like that's great.
Yeah.
You know? So I will reply just so that the person knows. So this ain't if a person was talking shit, I ain't gonna spend my time. But to me, it's more like I'll father you type of lesson, and let me make you aware that every other real individual that knows that this was fake thinks that this is bullshit. Because for every one person that says something, 20 of them are thinking it. That's always how it's been. You know? Whether you're in a class and someone finally asks if you got a dying question and someone else asked, you ever had that moment where you're like, oh, thank God they asked. Thank God.
But usually it's like, oh, I wasn't listening, so thank God I get to hear the thing again because I was not listening.
No, you seem like a pretty smart dude, but most people just don't get it.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not a student. That's it. Like I've never considered myself.
Remind me, where'd you go? Where'd you go to school? What'd you go to school for?
I went to school at Lesley University in Cambridge for animation.
Yeah. And
like, just not a student. I'm just not. Art school is a weird thing in itself.
My brother's going now. He did that. That's actually Nick, my roommate. But
paint.
Yeah,
paint.
Yeah. Oh, he does. He also made this. He also
just learning.
Yeah, hashtag producing B. Producing B. Yeah.
Hashtag producing B. Okay, I said it too now.
Producing B.
Yeah. I'll at him later.
Cool.
But
so not a student.
People, I'm not personally a student because I didn't give a shit about 90% of the classes I took in 4 years of school, and that's bad to me. Like it's case by case. Like I shouldn't really like shit talk the entire system because I only went to one school. And all this other stuff.
Go ahead and shit. I'll shit talk the system for days.
Yeah, but like I only went to one school, so I only have my own personal experience within my major, and it's just like I was surrounded by a lot of kids who talked about everything they wanted to do.
Yeah,
and then they talked about it some more. Yeah. And then they didn't do it. And then that's what I was doing. Where I was like,
you're the same person gets slapped in the face after you talking shit, and I know you ain't gonna really do nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then
like do something.
But then
do it.
I was just suddenly like it clicked like my junior year, and I was like, oh, I should just do it. And I knew it didn't matter. I was like,
I'm glad you did. Dude.
I was like, I'm gonna pass these classes. And it was like, so I just made the first thing I drew. Like I did like these rough pencil drawings for 30 pages in 2 days.
Damn.
And I just drew it like all of it. And then I was
you were telling me about that.
And I was like,
oh, hey, buddy.
Oh shit, it's real high up.
Well, because he's an astronaut.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair.
That's right. Yeah. I'm slowly filling this room with art, and that's you. You've been on the wall.
Word. All right. But it just
I'm like sign it. You're like I did. M-E.
Me. That's my favorite part about my initials. I can literally write me on something, and that's true. Like that's a signature.
Think of that. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's why it's funny to me. So people are like, who's me? And I'm like I am me. You're you, but like I'm me.
Yeah, but sign it is sign it, or even if it's just write it.
I prefer the initials. Sometimes I'll sign.
That's an artist thing.
I kind of.
You know what I like too? I could see where you erase shit on that.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, but I figured as much. But I like that I caught you at a time where I could still see that.
Yeah,
that's it. Even this podcast is kind of about, and everyone we have is on is the come up, the journey. At the end of the day, it was only ever the journey.
I'm big on process. I think if you don't give a shit about getting to what you want to do and getting to what you want to make, even if it's small scale, like literally like getting to the finish of whatever you're making. If you don't care, if you only want a finished product, it's not good.
Yeah.
There's no point. I don't care about it. I want, even if I don't talk to you about it, I want to know that you had a bunch of things where you had to make conscious decisions. Like you had to choose what cameras you wanted. You had to choose, like you care about it. It's not just like you were like, I'm going to get a camera and I'm going to get mics. Doesn't matter what, like you care. And I had dinner with it was like through the school. I had dinner with this children's book artist, a beautiful watercolor painter named E.B. Lewis.
Not a pedophile.
Not a pedophile.
Not a pedophile.
Why? Why did you say that?
Because he's a children's book artist.
Oh yeah, but like he's not like painting books of nude children. Like it's nothing like.
I know, but something in my like comedic brain just goes off the rip. If you draw books for kids.
No, these are like.
Did you find a niche or did you?
No, these are he paints like way up, like amazing. It's all like just beautiful images. Like,
what's the name again?
E.B. Lewis.
E.B. Lewis.
And
he sounds familiar. Actually,
he's interesting. Like it almost sounds like he's not there when he's talking to you. Like he's like kind of talking to you, but also he could just get up and walk away in the middle of the conversation, not even know that you didn't follow him. Like that's how he kind of felt.
And would he care if you called him on it?
Probably not. He'd be like, "Oh yeah. Anyway, you're over there. Come here. You're too far away. Like, come back." And he explained it. I can't quote him perfectly. It's been like 2 years, but he's like, "I don't care about my old work, about what I just finished. Not because it's bad, but because it's over." He's like, "I think of it like a party. When I'm making the work, that's the party. That's when I'm having a great time. Everyone's here. Everyone's a part of it. Everyone's having fun. But then I'm done and I'm on to the next party and I'm on to the next thing." And he's like, "And it's great if you look at my work and you like it, like that's the remnants, like that's the pictures, that's the party favors, like whatever. That's the remnants of and the signs of what a really great time."
Yeah.
And that's such a weird analogy. It's like I would never have thought of that myself,
though.
but it makes so much sense, and it made sense to me even before I was super invested in it. And now it's like, I mean, I like finishing things, but as soon as I finish something, I'm not just like, "Oh, good job, I'm so awesome, I finished one thing." Like I didn't like make one drawing.
On to the next.
Yeah, like I went to school with a lot of people who's like, "Oh, I drew one thing," and they're just showing it off for like 3 months. It's like, it's not even good. Just keep making new shit, because I don't like shit I drew 6 months ago. I'm not gonna like what I'm drawing right now. Probably I'll be like, "Why would I do?" Or maybe I will. I'm at this point, but like I'm about to finish a new comic like tonight. Like I'm just adding in all the lettering. I'll email you like a PDF of it so you can check it out. But it's like, and as soon as I finish that, I'm gonna work on some new stuff. I've got some things that I said I'd do for some people, like do that, and then I'm gonna go do my next project and my next comic, and then send that out to publishers and like market myself. It never actually ends.
Yeah, so you're working, you're hustling, you're grind. I think a lot of people don't. A lot of people want to get rich quick.
I'm not. You don't even get rich from what I want to do.
Well, I'm not even like I just meant like as a metaphor. You know what I'm saying? They just want, exactly. They expect it now.
They want the fame, the recognition, the attention.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I can't complain about getting attention through social media, like at all.
It's like, hey, that's
awesome.
That's good. But what's better is to see you doing good
that's it. Yeah.
Document the process.
Yeah,
that's what your Instagram is, documenting your process. That is documenting your process.
Like you can see. I'll every once in a while dig up and redraw things that I drew. Like
that's
a year ago.
That's important
and it's
too.
Fun. Like I gotta show you after, like the original drawing of this. Whoa, it's bad. And I posted both side by side, and a bunch of people are like, "Oh, I can't tell the difference. They're both great." And I'm like, "You're very sweet, but that's not true. Like one of these is bad. One of these is really bad, and then one of these is getting old." Like, so like the next thing that I'm gonna get printed too. Like, it was the first screen print I ever did, and I just redrew the thing. And I'm like,
you do the screen printing?
No, my boss does. I work at a print shop. Shout out to Ben Franklin Tees in Danvers, Mass.
Okay,
that's where I was today. Like, like he prints them. He's much better at it than I am, but I just do the drawing and then put it on. But it's
you
just
get a hookup for working there.
Yeah, obviously. Of course. Yeah, I mean that would be a weird disconnect. So. I would. Yeah,
it's and like, that's smart too.
It's
like I don't know, and it's funny because when you look back on things, there's gonna be, you never know why necessarily you're doing it, right? You just sound like a genius later on. So whether or not you consciously went into it being like, hey, well, okay, so you did, okay,
but this
so you get the credit for that, right? But that's smart. That's very, very, very smart because that is another. Listen, not everyone's walking around with comic books, but I could guarantee you, everyone's walking around with it. Shirt on.
Yep. I would say 9 out of 10 people, and that 10th person he's you don't need him anyway.
Bird crashing there.
It's you just hope he's at a beach. Like that's all you hope. But it's like, I mean, I got into it because I was looking, and I go to like PacSun and shit. It's like when you think about like where to get. You're like, oh, I want cool, like vague t-shirts, like whatever. Like I want some cool graphic tees. Like that's, I don't really like collecting much stuff, but I've always liked cool t-shirts, like just graphic tees. Like I had a bunch of shit with like bugs on them.
I'll rep them for days. If I like
it,
like, that'll be the only things I wear.
There's a shirt from this brand in Italy. They don't ship to the US. I was like, oh, I gotta get this. I spent years being like, do you ship to the US? Do you ship? And I was in Germany and I tried to get him to ship there and it just didn't work out. So
I'll get it for you. I got my
I already got it. I got it.
Oh, okay, cool.
I had a friend of mine she was studying abroad and I was like, hey, Tina, can I mail something to you if I buy it? She's like, yeah. So I bought the shirt, mailed it to her, or like gave her address, and then she came back to Boston and I got it. And it's like, and then I sent a picture to one of the designers. I was like, dude, got it. He's like, about time. Like when I need it, I want to get it.
And have
like,
you ever seen anyone else with that stuff?
I've seen one person jogging.
Now
It's called Never Sober. Like that's the name of the brand.
And what did you think? So when you saw that person jogging, so if you don't know, so this is the Enlightened Entourage. I call it Tourage for short. Okay. And Tourage is a word that I made up for the activation energy between two people once you realize that there is a shared love, value, characteristic, morals, interest, right? Now, what happened when you saw that person jogging was Tourage, because maybe they're jogging and you're not going to interrupt them, but how much easier would it have been for you to talk to that person if they were standing right next to you with that shirt on?
Might have been easy. I was gonna say, I was like, I'm hoping you're not expecting like a deep thing.
No, I'm not.
I saw him jogging. I was on my bike.
Yeah,
and
don't fucking interrupt.
And I was like, yo, never sober. And he was gone. And I was like,
yeah. Probably got his headphones.
I was like, we're both sober too. Like running. Like that's the best part. Like because I've said that to a lot of people and they're like, oh, I get it. I'm like, no, it's like about your mind. It's not about drinking. Yeah. Like that's the point. And they're like, sure. And then that's the end of it. But it was just cool to see.
So never sober, like never sober project.
Yeah, it's like never just like sitting down. Like you're always doing stuff. So it's it's just really cool. And then the drawing is like the shirt is like a brain in a glass, like in like a mixed drink, like a cocktail glass. It just says never sober, and it's awesome. Right. But it's like I got into that because like before I knew about small independent like clothing companies and brands and people doing their own shit, I'd go to Urban Outfitters. Like you go to like PacSun and you just see like $30-$40 t-shirts that aren't that cool. And I'm like, I don't know how much it costs to make this, but I know it doesn't cost that much.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I'm going to pay that, why don't I make it? And so like when you look that shit up too, you look up like you find custom ink, like you find everything that keeps it from you at first. And then way late, I thought I'd try to learn it myself, like try to teach myself screen printing and all this stuff. And even then, there's a bunch of shit I didn't know. Like I built with my dad a printing press, like a wooden like 4-color printing press, like 2 shirts. But again, like I was still missing a few things. So when I tried it, it didn't work the way I wanted, and I was mad. And I was like, I'm stupid. I did something wrong. It's just I literally didn't buy all the equipment. I just didn't read all of it.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like gave up for a while, and then where I am now, like there's definitely a learning curve to learning to print. I do want to learn to print anyway.
That's a metaphor to all life.
Oh yeah, everything's a learning curve. Yeah. And I can be a defeatist. So as soon as something doesn't work out, if it doesn't work immediately, I'm just like I quit, and I'm like
So let's touch on that really quick, because I think that's one of the things. And I'm doing this podcast at the end of the day to help people. So like I think that's a very important thing that people need to understand, that is not cool. You can't just, because I'm the same way. Right. So, for example, the very first podcast that I did here, right, I messed up and it was left audio and right audio, and I didn't even go back and add the condenser thing to make it really sound like how we're hearing it in our headphones now.
Yeah.
Right. It was a screen. You're gonna have a dope intro. I can't show it to you because Ashton hasn't given it to me.
Yeah,
but you're gonna have.
I am excited to see
I'll send it to you. So because the intro alone would be post-worthy.
Yeah,
right?
That
he said he's gonna have like Marvel, like in the comic book
that's
intros,
funny,
flashes through the letters. So we'll see. Ashton, we count. You better come through, man. But at the end of the day,
I just edit this out if he doesn't do it.
Nah. Everything needs to go in there. I know. There's no such thing as editing out. If anything, when I say I'm editing,
you're adding.
I'm putting the clips together and then changing the size and even that, right? So obviously you're gonna learn and you're gonna suck, and I think it's important for people to see you get better. As a matter of fact, I think the most important part is to see that you sucked, or maybe that you didn't suck, but could have done a lot better. But then, number 2 got way better. Number 3 got way better. Number 4. People quit, and like you're saying, right? Because I know I'm the same way. But here's a funny thing about momentum, right? So, and I guess we'll tie it to interviewing for a job. Right, because I think this is where a lot of people are probably going to resonate with this, is where you like. So I got in a lot of trouble before. So, so when I went to go and look for a job, what happened would be I'd be with dope companies, right? So like Google, Amazon, HubSpot, these companies that were like good companies, and I would beat out everybody. And when I say beat out everyone, I mean like 150 plus candidate pool, 5 interviews. This is taking
you're one of those 5.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, no. I mean, I did 5 interviews.
Got 5 interviews. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This is that's the level of corporate with them, right? They have a process to churning it down. I'm beating everybody, right? Just to get to the Friday where they say like, okay, like, and how much would you want? And then on Monday, and this is so defeating too. It really fucking sucked. And it's a shitty feeling, and this is why people need to hear it. Knowing that you did all the work required to make it, that you legitimately did beat out everybody else. And then because SEO and Google will convict you more than your record will. My record's clean, but you Google my name and it's going to bring everything up. Yeah. Right? So, and then I would get to Monday and then, oh, you're too entrepreneurial. There's a better candidate. You're fucking lying to what? You're like, just tell me. I would much rather you just told me, Samson, we Googled Steven Sampson and being rated back in 2010 at UMass Amherst for 2 pounds of weed and 2 pounds of and 2 pounds of mushroom. I'd rather you told me that came up, right? Be real. The only real motherfucker that ever, they all went silent. They all told me you're not. What they're saying is you're not good enough when they say there's a better candidate. But you already are so confident and knowing that you're going to win, right? And then they come back and they say that. And the only one that was semi-real was Dan Tyre at HubSpot. And he looks at me and he goes, Samson, I think you just need to go to a company, prove that you are the best there, and then come back here, right? And that said more to me because I was in a room with him. It wasn't via text or anything. Yeah. So that said more. I knew he was being real. So shouts to Dan Tyre because I appreciate the shit out of him for that. Everyone else, they just stopped communicating with you, right? And what are you doing for your company? Because you know you're getting the second best when you did that, right? And fuck Insight Global. They were the first ones to do it to me. Ruined a weekend that I had at fucking the Big Up Music Festival. But anyways, what people need to know is that when you have all your eggs in one basket, the best news is that you have all your eggs in the first place. Don't think that because that doesn't work out that you're still not good for it. It's just on to the next one. And this is what you learn about a creative process and needing to get better and being told no and being told you suck even when you know it's not true. What the world doesn't give a shit if for the rest of the time you're over here telling them about all the times that you were the shit and they said that you weren't the shit. No one fucking cares, and that's not going to change anything for you. But what the good news is if you've ever gotten to the point where they said you're not worth it or told you we're not going to hire you for the wrong reasons, or your artwork isn't good but you know it was on some political shit for an artist that they already have or something like that, the best news is you already had all those eggs. Those eggs are still ready to go somewhere else. And don't let your momentum fall off now and just quit, right? Just keep pushing it. Keep pushing it, right? If you ever hustled, you know you're gonna fall off sometimes. You're gonna break even sometimes, and you're gonna lose money. Sometimes you will lose money, right? But the point is to get to a position where you can lose money and you still good, right? And that only comes from doing the next job and not being so hell-bent on, hey, what did you think was wrong with my artwork? Like, fuck out of here. Come on, no.
You were talking about this with Brooke actually in was that the 3rd episode? Yeah, yeah. Where I think so. You're saying it's like a 5 to 7 year investment,
yeah, like healthy investment.
Yeah, I might not make much, if anything, off of like what I'm doing right now. Like between the cost to like the time it takes to make all this, the cost to get everything printed, even if I'm getting things at a better deal, like working at a print shop or like printing my comics and then paying for these tables and traveling. But I'm putting that in. So now I'm going to a big convention in North Carolina, Heroes Con. Like that's
Heroes
a big one.
Con,
Yeah.
North Carolina?
That's a big comic convention. And like some of my favorite artists are going to be there. And like, I'm going to be there with them. So it's like, I'm going to go there. And it's my first year, so I'm not going to get a line at my booth. But if I keep going, I already have a momentum that's going to keep picking me up. If I keep going next year, the year after that, and so on, people are going to know me, and that's helpful in terms of just me selling.
And you already got the social proof. You already got the almost 9,000 followers. Exactly, so when they go on, he is working.
Yeah. Rather than like having like a couple hundred that they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to be one of those.
You're already at a point where the steam is going to pick up a lot quicker.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully. So it's like that. And I'm hearing from artists I love. Like some of my favorite artists are following me, and some of them are reaching out to me, being like, "Hey, it's really cool that you're doing some cool shit." And I'm like, I love your, like, I genuinely like. I have this artist, this illustrator, Matthew Woodson. I have a screen print of his, and it's so beautiful. But I need to get it framed before I ruin it. But I won't even take it out. It's still rolled up.
Really?
I just Google the image to look at it because I don't want to ruin it because I don't have, because it's like a weird size. It's like this long.
Yep.
So it's kind of funky. So it's like, I need to get it custom framed, but I'm like, until I do it, I can't take it out. I'll ruin it. So it's like these people are like, I love what you do. And I'm like, I also love what you do. So that's a huge help. But then,
and they only know what you do because you work.
They only know what I'm doing because I'm just doing it. Like I wasn't.
Because you're just doing it.
Like I'm just following them, liking what they're doing, and I think a lot of people just will look at every once in a while who's liking their shit, like who's consistently commenting, who's consistently interacting with them.
Yeah,
I like to see what they're up to sometimes.
For sure.
And sometimes, like sometimes I would have never noticed that an amazing artist is like, I love your work, and then I'm like, oh shit, you make good work. So it's the same thing, and it's like it's becoming weird and surreal.
Make a comic about that.
That's too slice of life for me my stuff.
I like your stuff though. I like your stuff a lot.
I would like to put a little realism within that fictional like settings that I like, but I'm getting too far back from what we were saying about like a defeatist and like taking a no, and it's like you really only need one yes. Yeah. If you're good and you know you can do it, you just need one person to take that chance on you. So that's it. You just need one. And if you get 100 no's and one yes, you still did it.
Yeah.
You made it.
And all the best changes that have ever happened in all of history were met with countless no's before it was a yes. And then the yes changes the fucking world.
If the people that you look up to are like, oh, it was easy, they're lying or they were given it. And that's it. Like everyone got a no. Everyone got a bunch of no's at one point or another. And it's just like, just take it. Like it does suck. Like it's never not gonna suck.
This is the Rocky Balboa thing, right?
Yeah.
It ain't about like getting knocked. It's about how you stand up from being after you get knocked down. Are you even the type of, you know, like? And I think it's a good metaphor to think of like an actual fight. Like if you get knocked down on your ass, like there's a lot of people who just stop. Right. And what you're doing as an artist is not stopping, because each one of those no's is a knockdown. And that does take a toll on your head. It does, like, you know, because your heart's in it. It's passionate. It's something that you're really into, you know? So
and I think I'm at that point where it's like, I haven't even gotten too many no's because I haven't pushed myself too much. Like I reached a point where I was like, I want to make comics, but I hadn't been making any. And like, then I made two that I was proud of, like in college, like that was important. But I look at them now and I'm like, I know why this is a no. I already know it's a no. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I need something new. So that's what I'm working on right now. And now I'm really proud of this one. I think this one holds up. Like this one's, it's just like where I am now, because the other ones were also the first things I did. And then like, that's how I figured out that I like inking with a brush. Like that's older, or that's newer than my comics. The comic that I had printed like when I met you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So not the short one, like the smaller, like the bigger one, home. But like, so I'm proud of them. Like they're important, but they're old, and so like it's not my best work. It's not my best inking. It's not my best writing. It's not my best coloring. It's not just composition. Like it's just not the best. It's not bad, but it's not gonna get me anything, like professionally. So rather than,
but you needed to do it before
I
you
needed
could
to do it
get
to know.
yeah.
Like, well, that's the practice. It takes 10,000 hours doing something to be a master. Like that whole thing. Like, I haven't put my 10,000 hours in yet.
I like that you brought that up, man.
That's
I'm big
important.
on that.
That's true. Because
and when and do you know it's funny that if you broke down what is attainable while you still got to make the rest of life work, because I'm a numbers person, right? So I've actually broken down the amount of hours, and it will take 5 to 7 years to become a master. You ain't gonna do if you think you're gonna become a master in a year. Well, you're gonna push out someone. Yeah,
then you want the attention of doing
it. Exactly, right? And I think one of the better things that I've heard more recently is whatever it is you think you want to do, don't sit there and make a list of all the reasons why you want to do it and how awesome it would be if you could make it. Make a list of all the possible struggles, bullshit you need to go through, amount of no's you need to take, amount of realizing that your shit might suck at the very beginning, amount of people telling you that you suck along the way. You need to add up those extra hours after you get out of your 9 to 5. And when you make that list of all the things that someone who is successful has done in order or needed to get through and go through to be there, do you want to put up with that shit?
Never heard of that, but that makes immediate sense.
Because if you still want to put up with the bullshit, then you should be doing it.
Because as soon as
go for it.
It's the way I've always thought of it is, what else would I be doing? Like that's how I know. Like before I got the job at the print shop, I was working at a restaurant.
Yep.
And I was just like, I was sitting like talking to one of the managers, and I was like, what do you do in your spare time? Because I couldn't imagine doing anything else. Like I get out of work, I go sit at my desk and I draw, and then I'm like, oh, what a pain in the ass. I have to eat. Like I have to sleep. Like this is so annoying. And so like that's what I want to do. Like every once in a while I will do other things. Like I do hang out with people, not that much anymore, but like I do, and like I do eat food, and I will watch movies and like read books and comics and like do other things, but the bulk of it is just working. It's when I get out of work, I go to work. I don't get paid from it. Like freelance is nice, but like I kind of dropped the ball for a bit trying to finish this stuff, but I want to get a little more aggressive with that too. But it's like, that's it. This is all I want to do. And I don't even have to ask. I can't even get that far asking like if it's worth it, because it's all I'm going to do.
Then you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. All those people that wanted to get rich quick schemes, those really quick, if they were truly to sit down and list out all those,
I don't think they could even get that far. They get bored.
Well, yeah, that's why they're fucking still on the game. They're probably buying lottery tickets. They're that asshole that takes all that time in the line when you're at the convenience store. Like, we're just trying to get gas, I think this is a good spot to end it. We've been all right. So how do people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at second.at.best. So the dots are periods. I don't know.
Second at best, yeah.
Second at best, yeah, with periods in between. Or you can go to my website, secondatbest.com. And then that's pretty much it.
Let's get them. This is the come up.
Right,
we're going to do good. Matt Emmons, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Good shit.